Happy news to report on a missing journalist from Stoughton. An update on Alec Lund from Norway.
And a man is in custody after 5 people are shot at an Army base in Georgia. What officials are saying happened at Fort Stewart.
And we are live at Warner Park as the Madison Nightmares are just one win away from their first ever league championship. Here in a couple minutes, I will be interviewing their head coach. Stick around.
First at 5, an update to a story that we brought you yesterday. A climate journalist from Stoughton has been found alive after he went missing while hiking on a glacier in Norway.
Arman Rahman once again spoke to his family about this happy ending after a rather harrowing situation in Norway. Arman?
That is right, Susan and Eric. This is the Folgefonna National Park, which is where Eric Lund set out to hike a glacier solo for 4 days on the 31st of July. Then he went missing for a week. And on Wednesday morning, Norway time, he was found in this region just east of the park by helicopters with the Norwegian Air Force. Now, here are photos the Norwegian Air Force provided to the state-run news agency, NRK, of him. Sorry about my mic there. Of him being spotted from a helicopter, that little red dot that you saw there on the mountain. Now, Alec's sister, Drew Gaddis, tells me today he had fallen off a cliff and broke his foot, leaving him stranded for 6 days, surviving on little food and water. The Norwegian police called his wife in London when they positively identified him.
It's incredible. It is. We're just also grateful that it went in this direction and not the other direction. It is just like this huge weight has been pulled off, and it feels like we can breathe.
Now, right now, Lund is in the ICU and hasn't seen family or his wife yet, but his sister says she's counting the minutes before she can go and give her brother a big hug. And Lund graduated from the UW-Madison School of Journalism in 2010. He went on to win awards for his reporting on climate change in the Arctic, Putin's Russia, and other harsh conditions. He was featured in The Guardian, National Geographic, New York Times, and more. He was on a family vacation in Norway with his 4 other siblings, all raised in Stoughton, before setting off on that 4-day hiking trip.
So thankful, Armand. This had a happy ending. Thank you. A 28-year-old soldier was taken into custody after 5 other soldiers were shot today at Fort Stewart in Georgia. Army officials say the victims are in stable condition and they are all expected to recover. A motive for the attack is not yet clear. Law enforcement responded to a shooting at Fort Stewart's 2nd Armored Brigade combat team just before 11 o'clock this morning. Moments later, the fort was locked down and the suspect was arrested by the Army Criminal Investigative Division.
Sergeant Radford has not previously deployed to combat. Sergeant Radford has been interviewed by the Army Criminal Investigation Division and is currently in pretrial confinement, awaiting a charging decision.
During the news conference, Brigadier General Luba said fellow soldiers tackled Radford and subdued him. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt wrote on social media that President Trump was briefed on the shooting and the White House is monitoring the situation. Fort Stewart released a statement saying that no additional information will be released until the investigation is complete.
The Dane County Office of Emergency Management says that the monthly test of the county's outdoor warning sirens has failed. Officials say an unknown technical issue caused the network of outdoor sirens to fail during the scheduled test today at noon. 144 sirens are part of the network, and emergency management staff are working with their vendor to find a reason for that failure and whether it's an isolated issue. Follow-up tests of individual sirens were successful. Dane County Executive Melissa Agard says the issue today highlights why it's important to test these sirens monthly. Another test is being scheduled for this Friday at noon, of course, weather permitting. Also important, as our weather team knows, and storms are in the forecast with warmer weather on the way. And are we still dealing with that smoke out there? Alex with more in studio.
You bet. Have the answers to all of those. Let's start off with the storms here. Have a couple showers over parts of southwest Wisconsin showing up on radar 3000. This is the remnants of some storms that were out across the Great Plains overnight that have been fizzling as they've been moving off towards the east, and they will continue to fizzle as they move into southern Wisconsin. But then after a relatively quiet night tonight. Can't rule out an isolated storm with muggy air moving in, where we turn our attention to tomorrow afternoon. This is right around 4 or 5 o'clock. Scattered thunderstorms stretching from Viroqua down to Richland Center, down to the Dodgeville area, perhaps down to Darlington, and they become a bit more on the widespread side, scattered across all of southern Wisconsin through the evening hours Thursday. And this is all that warm, humid air pushing in to southern Wisconsin. That's the fuel, the kick for these showers and storms. And by the time we get to the early morning hours of Friday, we'll lose a little bit of that heat of the day, and then that should move the shower and thunderstorm activity down to that dwindled level. A little bit of wildfire smoke east of Madison, but we do have more wildfire smoke in the forecast. The very latest on severe weather chances and when that wildfire smoke may return. That's coming up when you see me in a few minutes.
All right, Alex, thank you. The DeForest Village Board has voted 5-2 to recall trustee Bill Landgraf and will hold a special election to replace him September 16th. Now, citizens claim Landgraf intimidated and harassed them, prompting a petition fueled by the village's vote to remove fluoride in the water there. Over 1,500 DeForest residents signed the petition, which was 100 more than needed to trigger the recall. Landgraf submitted a challenge to the petition, claiming 200 signatures should be voided due to illegible writing and incorrect formatting. However, village clerk Callie Lundgren only found 12 of those signatures to be unacceptable.
A 7-year-old boy has died after being hit by a car in Beloit yesterday. That's according to city police. The crash was on Prairie Avenue at around 5 p.m. The boy was airlifted to UW Hospital in Madison, where he later died. Wisconsin State Patrol is conducting an accident reconstruction. The driver of the vehicle, police say, stayed at the scene and has been cooperating with the investigation, which remains active.
A Janesville man has been arrested for his third operating while intoxicated offense after crashing into a ditch. That's according to the Rock County Sheriff's Office. Sunday evening, deputies, fire crews, and EMS responded to a single vehicle crash in Center Township. Police say the vehicle lost control coming over a hill. Both people involved were left with minor injuries. The driver is facing a felony charge of OWI causing injury.
The Legion Street project in Verona is officially in phase 2. This phase focuses on work for the new eastbound lanes on West Verona Avenue and Legion Street. Right now, West Verona Avenue will have one lane open in each direction, and Legion Street is closed to through traffic. Access is open from 9 Mound Road to Church Avenue and to all local businesses on Legion Street.
Piggly Wiggly says it has collected a record-breaking amount of food donations for this year's Wisconsin State Fair. A special promotion that allowed food donors to get into the fair for a special price led to 59,000 pounds of donations. That's over 21,000 pounds more than last year's promotion. Organizers say the food will help fill pantry shelves and tables throughout the state.
Well, tonight the Madison Nightmares have a chance to secure their first ever Northwoods League softball championship.
That's right. The Minot Honeybees are coming to the Duck Pond from way up in North Dakota for tonight's game. That is a really fun bus ride, let me tell you. Andrew Banstra live at Warner Park ahead of the big game tonight. Andrew, how are you?
Welcome into Warner Park, where the Madison Nightmares this evening have a chance to win their first ever league title in the Northwoods League Softball League. I'm here with their head coach, Lexi Godwin, who has led this squad to quite the unbelievable season. We talked at the start of the year, and you told me you had great players coming in. That's certainly been the case on the field. 35-7, and now here you are with a chance to finish it off. What's this season been like?
It's been so fun. We talked at the beginning of the year, and I told you my job was to help them fall back in love with this game. It's never been about the winning. And so just to see how much fun they've had, the culture that we've built, how the community has showed up for us. Softball is growing in this town, and it's really special to be a part of. But most importantly, these girls are growing and learning and having fun on the field. And so it's been so fun.
And, we talked about how, and I think it's incredible that you kind of said that winning isn't necessarily the most important thing, building that culture is. And I was just speaking with Hillary Blomberg, who said that they've become such close friends over this course of this summer that they just can't wait to get back next year. What has that been like, seeing them come together? And has that been the reason they've been winning so much?
Culture is everything, and it doesn't matter. This is summer softball. They're going back where they have months to build culture. They all understand one another. They understand the grind of college softball, and so giving them the freedom just to come here, be themselves, play without failure, it's really breeded something really special, and it's just been really awesome to just watch these girls, love on one another and just love this game. So.
And it would be a dream come true for this squad to win it all tonight. We'll have more coverage at 6, and of course, we'll be back at 10, hopefully talking to Lexi again on what it was like to finish the season as champions. But for now, for Lexi Godwin, I'm Andrew Banstra, sending it back to you guys in the studio from Warner Park.
Andrew, thank you. It's been such an amazing season. Best of luck to them tonight. Yep. We'll see you at 10, Andrew. Thank you. The countdown to kickoff is on for the Packers. They're getting ready to start the preseason. Here we go this weekend.
The first of 3 preseason games. And if you're going to watch the game, go up to Lambeau. Well, how much can you expect to see, say, Jordan Love play? Our Packers senior writer Jason Wilde gives us some insight.
Matt LaFleur ultimately gets to decide who will play and who won't play in Saturday's preseason opener. But Jordan Love says that the coach might listen to him when it comes to his playing time. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Wilde in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. And we talked to Jordan Love today. And the Packers quarterback says he does want to play in the first preseason game on Saturday against the New York Jets right here. Now, how much he's going to play, that's a good question. And Matt LaFleur has not told anyone what his plans necessarily are for playing time. But Jordan Love said he at least wants to play a series. He thinks it's important to at least get a few snaps in a preseason game. Now, that obviously comes with risk because he won't be wearing a red non-contact jersey like he wears in practice. But he believes that there's value in that. So whether it's a series or an entire quarter, the Packers quarterback wants to be on the field. Don't forget to follow all of our Packers coverage for free on channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our newsletter, which is also free and allows you to get our Packers coverage delivered to your inbox directly every day at no cost. Thanks for tuning in. Back to you in the studio.
And again, kickoff for the preseason opener at Lambeau Field Saturday night, set for 7 p.m. as the New York Jets, no Aaron Rodgers this year, they make a visit to Green Bay. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington's back next. His complete first warn forecast.
And a pair of sandhill cranes welcomes an unusual guest into the family. How a local man has profiled a unique adoption, and now it's going viral. That's next at 5.
And the back and forth continues on Wall Street. The Dow rebounds 81 points in midweek trading. The Nasdaq soaring 253 points. S&P 500 adds 46. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A pair of sandhill cranes, along with its colt, have adopted a 4th member to the flock, a Canada goose, and it happened right here in Madison.
Our Kyle Pozorski caught up with the man who's been photographing and bringing attention to this unique situation.
The photos you're seeing were taken by Allen Ginsberg, showing what can only be described as a unique wildlife phenomenon. You see, what happened was a sandhill crane colt hatched this spring, but after its parents relocated to a new nest thought to have been possibly abandoned, Al hatched a Canadian gosling coming out of an egg left behind in that very nest. The adult sandhills have since raised it as one of their own alongside their colt.
At this point now, the colt is bigger than the mother.
I caught up with Alan Wednesday to try to see them for myself.
If I find them 1 out of 3 times, I feel lucky.
I didn't find myself to have the same luck, but Alan has many times, coming to the spot on Madison's west side, documenting the young birds growing and spreading their wings.
But somehow they've adapted. You know, the mother still looks for food there, and they've been able to find it. We're at the point now where they're beginning to start to fledge, start to fly.
Alan says in his decade plus of photographing birds, he's never seen anything quite like this. In fact, in his research, he's only found about 5 other instances of a pair of cranes adopting another species of bird. In one case, the adopted family returned to the same spot the next spring.
Somehow they did return together back to the pond. So I thought that was some hopeful story. I'm hoping that's a possibility.
For now, his plan is to continue following the flock throughout the rest of the summer, all before migration season begins this fall. In Madison, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Kyle. Alan is now working to sell a collection of photo cards with a portion of each sale going to the International Crane Foundation in Baraboo. We have a link to that up on our website, channel3000.com. And now to the weather, a full look at the forecast with Alex Harrington. You're looking at A little bit of everything in the forecast. Storms, high temperatures, and what about the wildfire smoke?
Yeah, a little potpourri of everything, as you said, in the forecast. Let's start off with the storm chances. Live Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam is part of the First Warn WeatherCam network, showing dark skies. And the reason why, we have a few showers in southwest Wisconsin. So don't be surprised, Grant County, areas south and west towards Dodgeville, maybe over towards Darlington. You might get wet here with a few raindrops this evening, but this is in a weakening mode, and we're not expecting widespread showers and storms tonight. Can't rule out an isolated storm, but better chances by the time we get to about this time Thursday evening with scattered thunderstorms over Vernon County, over southwest Wisconsin, maybe Dodgeville, getting wet by the time we get to 4 or 5 o'clock. Then watch that become more widespread as we head towards 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, right through the heart of the area from Mineral Point up to Madison, up towards the Juneau Beaver Dam area, Marquette, Green Lake counties. This patch of showers and thunderstorms, 1 or 2 could be on the strong side before they likely fizzle as we get into the early morning hours on Friday. We lose the heat of the day, and that takes down the chances for storms when we get a little bit later into the evening. All that green means a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. What that means is isolated severe thunderstorms are possible. We're not expecting widespread severe weather at this point in time. And those risks would be heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and hail. No tornado threat as it looks like right now. And isolate again is key as we go into Thursday. Speaking of Thursday going into Friday, where you see that orange, here's that third part of our forecast. That is wildfire smoke moving in, but from a totally different direction. Coming in from the south and from the west, from the Rocky Mountain states where we do have wildfires ongoing. We've been talking about them for the past few days. If the smoke can't get dispersed as it moves across the plains, we could see a return to the hazy conditions and those smoky looking skies by the time we get to later Thursday, going on into Friday. That 10-day forecast here, Saturday and Sunday, that's the better chances for showers and thunderstorms, especially during the nighttime hours, those overnight storms that have a tendency to wake us up. Of course, we'll be watching those. Doesn't matter what time of the day is. We're watching our Radar 3000 to keep everybody safe, and we can't rule out a strong storm during that period going out into early next week. And then the dog days of summer, they're not going anywhere. 80s by day, mid to upper 60s by night. That's all above normal temperature-wise, so staying warmer than normal. And the muggy meter showing us getting up into the very humid, just trying to touch that oppressive value as we head towards the upcoming weekend. But the main mode is get ready to sweat as we go later this week, going on into the upcoming weekend. And, well, how about a photo here from Castle Rock Lake? This would be well north up towards the Necedah area. Thanks, Brad, showing us that orange sunset and those orange colors owing to the wildfire smoke that's in the atmosphere. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll take a even extended look into our temperatures and our precipitation forecast from the Climate Prediction Center. You want to join us for that. That's coming up at 6.
All right, Alex, thank you. When we come back, people are rebuilding after severe flooding devastated communities all around the country. We'll ask the question, do you need flood insurance where you live? That's coming up next at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
This summer's weather has caused catastrophic rain and flooding in parts of the country, including deadly flooding in Texas, also in North Carolina.
Cities like New York and Chicago have also experienced flash floods. As these rain events become more dangerous and more frequent, you may be wondering whether you should get flood insurance.
Jen Sullivan looks at why we're seeing more rainfall and what homeowners should do to protect themselves.
Heavy rains turning this road into a river, stranding buses and emergency vehicles in several inches of water. This happened last month in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. This is the result of the Green Brook River overflowing. And these heavy rainfall events are becoming stronger and happening more frequently all over the country. A recent study from the nonprofit group Climate Central found hourly rainfall rates have grown heavier in nearly 90% of large U.S. cities since 1970.
That is the most terrifying type of damage. It's the one I fear the most.
Holden Lewis with the NerdWallet says if your home floods and you don't have flood insurance, you could be stuck paying out of pocket to fix the damage because standard home insurance does not cover flooding.
Even a minor flood can be very expensive.
Experts say these rain events can be worse in the summer. When the jet stream shifts further north and there's less of a temperature difference between the equator and the Earth's poles, these storms can become slower. When storms slow, rain falls faster than the ground can absorb it or infrastructure can drain it, which is how this happened in Chicago last month, where a stalled storm system dropped as much as 5 inches of rain in just 90 minutes.
So many houses are near little creeks, little canals that are placid 99.99% of the time. But in a really, really heavy rainstorm, they can flood, and they can flood really quickly.
Lewis recommends everyone should have flood insurance. According to NerdWallet, the average flood insurance cost in the U.S. is around $899 a year. But if you don't have it and your home floods, NerdWallet recommends people should look at FEMA grants, local government assistance, and nonprofit help. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And from 2006 to 2023, Dane, Jefferson, Dodge, Columbia, Sauk, Richland, Iowa, Lafayette, Greene, and Rock counties have all experienced combined a total of nearly 130 flooding events. That's according to the National Weather Service.
We'll get a final check on our weather when we come back.
Join us tonight on News 3 Now at 6. Our area has again seen some of the worst air quality in the country. News 3 Now's Ellie LaLiberte asks fellow residents how they're going about their lives during yet another bout of wildfire smoke. Again, that's tonight. News 3 Now at 6.
Finally at 5, a young boy from Wisconsin is in the running to be America's Toddler of the Year. How could he not win? Look at this priceless little one. It's a national ad campaign that provides holiday gifts for families in need. This is Charlie North. He's from Evansville, and he's known for his curls and his silly persona. He's currently in second place in the voting. The winning toddler will star in the ad, lead the Hollywood Christmas parade, go to a Peppa Pig theme park, and take home $25,000. You can vote until 7 o'clock tomorrow at toddleroftheyear.org.
Some mischievous little expression
Yeah,
there.
gotta get Charlie
Let's
over
get him
the
up to
top.
number 1 in
Yes.
voting. Alex is back. Final check of the forecast.
Sure. Tonight, quiet, muggy. We can't rule out an outside chance of a thunderstorm with muggy conditions and that humid, hot stuff moving into southern Wisconsin, really turning on as we go into Thursday. Scattered thunderstorms developing during the afternoon. Keep an eye out. 1 or 2 of those storms could be on the strong side, so good idea to have that First One weather app handy, and of course we'll break in as necessary.
Yep.
Not expecting widespread severe weather, but there is that chance.
Okay, thanks, Alex.
Alex, thank you. And thanks for watching News 3 Now at 5. Coming up next, the CBS Evening News, and we'll be back, as we mentioned, in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.
You can catch us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000 Plus. Have a good evening, everybody. See you at 6.